Hello, thank you for viewing this video. We'll take a look at generic car first, which is your car. We have a car controller script. I will turn on is on computer, so I can control this car on the computer. We will open this prefab. Over here we have car visual, body, wheels. The wheels have transforms and the wheels have colliders. We're using wheel colliders. The objective arrow and the player canvas, car canvas, is attached to this prefab. So this makes it a nested prefab. I'll play the game. I'll show you the features that we have added. We can rotate the car and press B to accelerate. As soon as I lift my finger, the car will stop. I can rotate at any time. The car will brake and I can turn. This is the objective marker. Once you're at the objective marker, we'll hold there for a few seconds, and then the chase car is going to appear. I can hit the X button for a quick boost, and you can see that you also saw that the boost bar depleted. The car, whenever it's going to be hit by the chase car, is going to lose health, which is the red bar. I'll hit boost again for a big boost, and now I can easily drive away. There you go. That I'm lapping around this area. I do not know where the chase car is, but it's around here somewhere. There it is. It's actually trying to chase me down. However, it can't really. By the way, the chase car also uses the A-star pathfinding algorithm, so it'll avoid all obstacles that comes in front of it. Okay. The reason why the game was lagging was because the IDE was loading. So here you go, this is the car controller script. We have got references to components over here, which are the references to the generic car object. We have got references to the children object. We've got references to object and scene. We have got car unity functions over here, which are the standard unity functions. This is the on trigger enter for colliding with enemy. We've got car functions. This is going to set the center of mass of the car so that the car does not flip. We've got input functions, which are going to take the input from the player, both the joystick as well as keyboard controls if the player is on the keyboard. We've got handle model functions and variables. This function is not being used anymore. This is going to tell whether we're using a realistic controller or a arcade controller. In the current game, we're using an arcade controller. The arcade control functions and variables are being called by the buttons that are on the screen. We can do accelerate, we can stop accelerate, we can do boost, we can stop boost. These are the functions for that. They change a variable to true or false. This is arcade car movement. This is the function that's going to control the arcade car movement. We have a handle arcade motor as well. I'll take a look at that later. we've got handle arcade motor. The handle arcade motor function is going to manipulate the motor torque and give it a value of motor force. We also have disable boost collider settings function called over here, so we do not have the boost colliders active over here. We have got current brake force setting over here, and if we have lifted our finger, this is going to call the handle arcade brakes function. We've got handle boost arcade motor over here, which is just going to add a bigger force to the car and also enable boost collider settings, so it'll reduce the friction of the collider. We've got handle arcade brakes here, we've got enable boost collider settings here, and we've got disable collider settings here. So these are the statements to handle the friction of the colliders based on what kind of movement you do. Then we have wheel collider functions, including brakes and motor force, which is over here. We've got handle motor over here. This is not being used anymore. This is for the realistic controller. Apply brakes, remove brakes, has collided with enemy. This is being used, but these two are not being used. So when we have collided with an enemy, we are going to represent our script and deduct health and slow the car down. Then we've got get motor force, and we've got set motor force. We've got steering functions over here. These are not being used anymore. We've got update wheel settings, again not being used, and we have to deploy trap functions, which is going to deploy a trap, but this is done in another script. We'll go to the car health script. This is a very small script that is going to update the health on screen as well as deduct the health once you're colliding with an enemy. So we'll update the health over here. We are going to set the motor force to something smaller so the car slows down. We also have a setting player health variable over here, as well as the set player health function. We have also referenced a slider, the health slider in this function. We've got car objective pointer functions over here. We've got car object, which is going to know what the car object is. Then we've got objective arrow target over here. We are passing targets over here. And then these are the functions for looking at the target. These are the statements for showing the distance that we are away from the target, the distance that we need to cover to get to the target. This is the deploy trap, a simple small script which is going to deploy a trap when the user presses the A button. This is the chase car script. It is a small script which is just handling the collisions with the player. If this enemy collides with the trap, it's going to reduce the speed for a while and then reset the speed to an original speed. After a while, it's going to actually slow down for 2.5 seconds, as you can see over here. These are the game control scripts, which is responsible for controlling the various events that handle in the game. Right now it's just handling the objective marker, and it changes the objective marker once you reach the first one. So these are the statements for that. The objective marker script is just going to handle the objective marker, which is going to change based on where the player is. These are statements for that, but they're not being used. That's the end of the source code walkthrough.